Yeah! Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. The vibes are immaculate. The energy levels are high. The UFC has tried this week. That is for sure. UFC 322 kicking off in about 45 minutes. I am just absolutely jacked up for this card. Best card of the year for the UFC by a pretty significant margin. One of the best cards they put together since UFC 300, in my opinion, and one of the all-time great cards on paper the UFC has ever put on at Madison Square Garden. And to get you ready, it's time to talk with all of you, the wonderful community here at MMAfighting.com. I am Mike Heck, and welcome to the People's Pre-Fight Show as we get you ready for this massive event. Of course, it is headlined by the super fight of sorts for the UFC welterweight title. Jack Della Maddalena, JDM, defending against the former longtime lightweight champion Islam Makhachev in the co-main event. Incredible fight. Women's flyweight title. A lot of people feel that the winner of this fight could be the women's GOAT in the history of MMA. Valentina Shevchenko defending against Zhang Weili. And then we have Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. We got Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. We got Benny Dariush taking on Benoit Saint-Denis. Prelims are great. There's a few squash matches on here, that's for sure. But all in all, there is not much at all to complain about with UFC 322. And as I said, I was ready to run through a wall on Monday. On Monday, I was ready to run through a wall. That's how pumped and excited I was for this card. And it's finally here. It's finally fight day. So let's do the thing. Let's go to you guys. Super chatters get to the front of the line. You get to cut everybody. And there's Tom. Been thinking about you, Baldy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Could this be another DDP Hamzat from Sahil, the Real Deal MMA? I hope not. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think it's to be a really close competitive fight. I think it's going to be really fun. I think both guys are going to have their moments. I think everyone who kind of looks at this fight and discusses what everybody's looking for, I think most people are on the same page. Can JDM, because JDM's got to get taken out in this fight. There's no doubt about it. But he has proven that he can get back up to his feet. It's just a matter of how often can he do it. Is this going to be the type of fight where Islam kind of like marabs him, where he just takes him down, lets him up, takes him down, lets him up? Kind of the old school Habib style. I just don't know if that's going to happen. And the more footage I've watched of both of these guys, the more I feel like this fight is going to be really competitive. I do have a bet on Jack Della Maddalena. I'm picking Islam by decision, but it is a super close fight to me. I will be surprised if we see a DDP Hamzat type of fight here. I really will be. I'm not saying it can't happen, but who else we got? We got Chase. Thank you, Chase. Shout out to the great Jose Youngs. Got to meet him yesterday at the weigh-ins. Tune into the pre-fight while at MSG, hoping for an all-time card tonight. Chase, have a great time. I hope it is the greatest card of all time just for you, my friend. And I'm glad you got to meet Jose. He's the man. I've known Jose for a long time. One of my favorite people. Glad I get to work with him. Dude is an absolute savage. Boots on the ground. He is one incredibly hard worker. So, why are you so handsome, Mike? I get it from my parents. Top 10 women's MMA fighters of all time? Jesus Christ. Come on, this is a pre-fight show. I mean, we already know who's kind of at the top, right? It's Nunes, Cyborg. I think Valentina is definitely up there. I think you have to put Zhang up there now. And it's also tough, too, because, like, how do you weigh it? Obviously, Ronda Rousey is the most important fighter in the history of women's MMA. I mean, without Ronda Rousey, there is no women fighting in the UFC. I mean, it's just that simple. And she was obviously very dominant and very impressive. I think you probably have to put Miesha Tate up there. She's won the belt. I don't know. It's tough. You really have to weigh out certain things. I think the top 5 is pretty set with Nunes, Cyborg, Valentina, Zhang, and Ronda. However you want to sort of look at it, I guess, in whatever order you guys are looking at. So, but once you get into the bottom half, you can mix and match a whole bunch of different things. Mike, I don't know why, but I've been feeling Valentina round 4 KO TKO. This fight rules and everyone wins, but do you see a scenario where this happens, or is it destined to go to the cards? So I actually am the other way with this, and I'm ready to be wrong. Sometimes the eyes see one thing, your gut tells you another, and your brain says different things, but there are certain times where all 3 line up in the same exact way. My official prediction for this fight is that Zhang Weili finishes Valentina Shevchenko in round 2. I mean, it is a hot take to say that any one of these fighters is going to go out there and just clobber the other, but I get a suspicion, I get a feeling, and no insight whatsoever, that Zhang Weili is her, that this is her night. She's going to go in there and get that win at Madison Square Garden, and she's going to beat Valentina. I just think she's in a better spot right now. I mean, obviously, Valentina has more experience. She's been in this weight class for a while. Valentina's also fought at 135. I don't think Zhang's going to be out-hossed or out-physicaled in this fight at all. In fact, I think she might be the stronger fighter. But I am curious to see how Valentina approaches this. If this is a stand-up fight, how does it all work? If Valentina can get takedowns, then she could be in for a long night. But I'm sure that Zhang Weili is ready for Valentina Shevchenko's grappling, her wrestling, because I think that's how Valentina wins this fight. Is she does what she did to Menon, what she did to Alexa Grasso in their 3rd fight. But I think Zhang's ready. She's a beast, and I can't wait. It's gonna be just a collision. But I actually think Zhang can get her. I think she can get her, and I think she can get her in big way. Cade, you SOB. Top 100 women's fighters in order. Maybe that'll be a BTL kind of thing. When did the early prelim start? 38 minutes. Thug Rose was too electric in title fights to not be on that list. I mean, I think we have to put the Carla Esparza fight in there, right? That's part of it. That's part of her history, and that is one of the 5 worst fights in the history of the UFC. So I think you have to add that in there. But Rose certainly has a case to be in the top 10. Joanna Jędrzejczyk certainly has a case to be in the top 10. I mean, Rose has 2 wins over Joanna, and she has 2 wins over Zhang. So, Ben, hard to be excited for this card after coming off of the Apex last week. I hear you. Dana, how crazy is it that John McCarthy unretired to ref again? Kind of wild. I have no idea. I mean, I get it. Actually, you know what? I'm actually not that surprised. I'm actually because what's he gonna do at this point? You know, he was obviously a big part of the Bellator brand, and Bellator did a lot of cards. He was literally the talking head of Bellator. It wasn't just a color guy. He was doing all the post-fight interviews. He was voicing, doing all the voiceover stuff. Dude was doing everything during fight week. It was pretty crazy. John McCarthy was everywhere. He was basically the face of Bellator in a lot of respects. Even more so than Scott Coker was. So, but now that Bellator's no more, PFL is just they tried to do the John and the Josh Thompson thing, and they realized no. I mean, the fan base had been against those 2 guys being on every broadcast to begin with. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm just go back through the history of all these shows and everything going on. People were done with them. And if you went to a Bellator card, not only like if you watch Bellator on television, you saw them all the time. But if you went to a Bellator event, all you saw was those two guys on the big screen between fights. They would do the weighing in podcast and stuff like that. And obviously, without the Bellator support, the podcast is still going on. I know John's not on there anymore because he's reffing. So, although I would love to get a lot of extra insight from him, but you see Josh out there. He's trying to do a little bit more. He got a couple of big interviews with Khabib and Islam, which obviously is a great thing. So good on them, but I'm not surprised John's back to reffing because it's not like the UFC is going to call him up and be like, "Hey, be our third guy in the booth." It's just there's just no real spot for him from a commentary perspective in like major MMA. So yeah, gets him back in there, and hopefully, I didn't love everything he said with Helwani. I can't lie. So I don't know. Hopefully, we could spearhead the type of thing where the refereeing changes a little bit. Brady by sub or Morales by KO plus 165 on FanDuel right now. Oh, so either or. God, I love that. It's a great play. I just took Brady straight. Because I think if Brady doesn't get knocked out in the first round, he's going to win. But that is a very big if. Because Michael Morales is a monster. I was actually, of all the face-offs from yesterday that I watched, that I was like, oh, that was like the biggest reaction I had like internally was the Brady Morales one. I was just like, holy shit. Like, Morales is like, it looks like he's a second human being taller than Sean Brady. He's a big, like these are two big friggin' welterweights. So, yeah, super interesting fight. Finn Hamilton, woke up today feeling like Christmas morning. I think we all did. I actually slept a little bit later this morning. I woke up like even more refreshed. It's been a long week. Went out, drove around a little bit, went to the driving range, hit some balls, took the dog out for a while. Ready to go. Could this be the best card of 2025? It is the best card of 2025 on paper, and it's not even a competition right now. So it could be. But I mean, I just don't see a world, and I hope I don't Bisbing this. I just don't see a world where this is not an enjoyable watch. There's just every fight has like an interesting story. They're all uber competitive. It's just, this is, especially if you're a newer fan, like this is what every UFC pay-per-view felt like back in the 2010s up until probably like 2022 when the UFC was just making so much money that they stopped trying. But this is what it all felt. This is what it felt like. Every pay-per-view felt like this when there wasn't Apex cards and 43 events a year, when they allowed us to miss them a little bit. This is what it felt like. And I'm getting those nostalgic feelings today. Oh, sorry. Over under 2.5 finishes on the main card. Ooh, that's a really good question. Let me pull up what I predicted for our staff matchup. I will say over. I'm going to say over. I'll run down my predictions at the end, but yeah, not only is it over, it's over by a lot. I mean, for 5 fights anyways. So over. Conan Zena, I know you guys always say title defenses are very important, but I think having 10 really big wins is also super important. Belt or not, Luka Pantoja has his best wins are before the belt win. I mean, are you talking about Pants specifically here? Because, I mean, all of us have Pantoja ranked like super high on our pound for pound list. Like, we all understand the greatness that Alexandre Pantoja's been showing us. So, he's I mean, I think if he beats Van, I think it's automatic. He's the second best flyweight of all time behind Demetrius Johnson. He might even be there now. Like, if you told me that he was the second best right now, I would say, all right, I'll listen to you. I mean, Merab obviously was had a great run, took him forever to get to the title. Bilal had a great run, took him forever to get to the title. So I don't know. I think each case is different. Master Universe. I know not top 10, but Michelle Watterson, considering her size, did really well. That doesn't get mentioned much, but I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's tough that there was no atomweight division because I think she would have done really well. So, but yeah, not a bad shout. You need to save a place for Dakota Ditcheva. Oh, for the women's all-time list. I mean, she's certainly got potential for it. I mean, you probably have to put Kayla in there right now. Or at least she's in the discussion for top 10. And Dakota's obviously got a very high ceiling and she can do really well. Unfortunately for her, what's gonna hurt her is fighting for PFL. And she just signed an extension and that's great. And I don't blame her for it. She's going to make a bag and a half over there. She is going to be financially set probably for the rest of her life fighting for PFL because they had no choice but to do that with her. I mean, literally no choice. They have nobody right now. They're trying to build stars. Like they're trying to build Thad Gene up and some others. Like even Usman Nurmagomedov, like hardcore fans know who he is, but it's not like he's a gigantic star. Paul Hughes is popular, but he's not a gigantic star. I mean, they just re-signed McKee, which was very smart. But like Dakota's the face of that company. Like she is PFL right now. If they lose her, especially right now, heading into 2026, which is probably the most important year for them, with the last year with ESPN and their TV rights being negotiated and such. John Martin talking about all these different changes to the formats and what they're going to do, which I'm curious about. They have to have Dakota. So Dakota's going to probably be there for a few years. She's going to rake in the money. And I just don't see a world where she fights for them beyond that. So she's just going to go in there and just roll over everybody she fights. Like, I don't know who they're going to bring in there to fight her. She probably needs to fight Liz Carmouche. So that'll be a big one. But after that, like, who's she going to fight after that? Islam round 1 by submission or armbar. Do you agree? No, I don't. Ben, imagine losing your first 2 MMA fights ever and then going on to be a UFC champion. Incredible. Yep. What should my first drink be tonight at Buffalo Wild Wings? Well, it depends on what time you're going. If you're going for like the first prelim, a water. A coffee, something with a little bit of a kick. I wouldn't drink alcohol this early. That's just me being an old man. You know, save it. You don't want to feel, because once the drinks start going down, when you're watching fights and you're chit-chatting, you're eating all the food, it's just going to go down fast. So, but if you're going a little bit later, I don't know. Mixed drink of some kind, something delicious. Maybe a local brew. How malpractice is it that UFC promoted this co-main event 0 for the women's super fight that it is? I mean, I don't know what else. Honestly, like, and I'm not defending the UFC, and I've said this publicly a bunch. I'm actually more excited for the co-main event than I am the main event, and that's a pretty high bar because I am friggin' fired up for the main event. I just don't. I mean, JDM Islam is just taking on a life of its own. So I don't know what the UFC could have done any better or any worse. Honestly, I just don't know if it would have made any difference. I mean, Dana White said it himself at the press conference. Like, he has put it over. And to a lot of degree, that's the most important thing, is what Dana says. And Dana's saying that it's one of the biggest women's fights. It could determine the greatest fighter of all time, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. You could see Dana get it. You could see Dana actually being excited about it. He's not trying to bullshit his way through an answer, the promoter talk type of thing. You could see Dana is very readable. That's one thing you learn the more you listen to Dana White. You could see it in his face what he means and what he's actually trying to say. And there are certain times where he's just literally excited about stuff. And I think he's very excited for that fight. I think he's very excited for this card. And I think he said Trump wasn't going to be there. And I have to say, like, and this is just because believe me, as someone who is doing like quote unquote content and is doing the watch parties and stuff, like Trump coming out and having the entrance is hilarious to me. It's just super funny. We have a great time with it. But I'm kind of glad he's not going to be there tonight. So the focus can just be on the fights and be on the fighters. Because when Trump's there, it can often be like a little bit of a distraction. And it's no political talk here whatsoever. It's just, Trump is shown all the time. You see the fighters like changing their personalities to impress him. Like, it's almost like, yeah, it's just like a distraction overall. Every time we look and say, oh, look who's here. Look who's here. Oh, there's Trump again. I think it's kind of a good thing that he's not there. Not because I don't like him or anything of that nature. It's just, it's all about the fights, all about the fighters. This just feels big. It just feels big. Because I think he's been at every one since 244. So it's going to be a little different. And I don't think, let's be honest, the timing of it would not be spectacular either. But yeah, I think everything's kind of shaping up for this to be a really special event. Dawson, if Shavkat showed up tomorrow and says he's healed up and ready to go, where does he fit into the picture? So Jed and I were talking about this, I think on BTL, and we were saying, wouldn't it be like incredible if at the weigh-ins, Shavkat pulled a Colby and just came out of nowhere and was the backup fighter and nobody knew? Because that was so big for Colby. Him just for Leon Usman 3, in London, no one knew Colby was going to be there. And he just showed up at weigh-ins and was the backup fighter and made weight. And everyone's like, holy shit, it's Colby. We haven't seen him in over a year. And then for like a good stretch, like people were excited to see him. And it would have been pretty wild if like Shavkat just comes out of nowhere and like stepped on the scale like 170 yesterday. But unfortunately, here's how I would do it. Because if Islam wins, we already know he's going to fight Usman in a fight that makes literally no sense. It's just egregious and ridiculous, but that's just the world we are living in. If JDM wins, Kamaru Usman should be fighting nobody else but Shavkat. Like, that is the fight. If Usman doesn't take that fight, then I think Usman is like out of the picture. Like, that's it. That's the fight. JDM wins. He fights either Brady Morales or Ian Machado Gary, depending on who has the best performance of those fights. And Usman fights Shavkat. That's it. That's literally it. Bilal was like the automatic fight to make, but they didn't do it. And I still don't understand why. And there's the dog. Just moving around. And he's taking a little snooze. We'll bring his little bed in here for the watch party. What else we got? What if Wellmaker loses? Spoiler alert, he's not going to lose. He's going to win very quickly. It's just a terrible matchup for Ewing. It's just really bad. He's going to get obliterated in 2 minutes. And the unfortunate thing is we will learn absolutely nothing about Malcolm Wellmaker. Like, it's good for him, and I'm like, this moment at MSG will be massive for him, and like, I was watching this dude fight at the Savannah Convention Center like 3 years ago, and now he's fighting at Madison Square Garden, and there'd be a great moment for him, but again, we learn nothing. He gains absolutely nothing from a win here outside of the second half of his pay, and perhaps maybe a bonus if he gets a knockout, but in terms of like where he ranks at bantamweight, we get nothing here. And it's a bummer because I loved the fight with Cody Haddon. Like it was excellent matchmaking, and We would have known everything. We would have known everything about Malcolm Wellmaker and where he goes if he fought Cody Haddon tonight. This is either, all right, he's the bantamweight Terrence McKinney, which is awesome, by the way, or he's a dude we have to push super duper fast. So if he went out there and just sparked Haddon, I'd throw him right in there with like, I'd give him like Cheeto Vera, like immediately. I would not mess around for a second. Like, we build this dude to a title fight as quickly as possible. And if he lost, then he's Terrence McKinney at 135. So, Mike, you guys stay up and watch any of the one fights. I'm only slightly less excited for that card, mostly due to the few fights fell off, opponent changes. Still going to be an amazing show. Probably not. I mean, maybe. I might stay. I mean, look, I'm going to be up working till probably 6:30 in the morning anyways. So, yeah, I might put it on in the background. I don't know. But will I, like, voluntarily do it? No, because I'm going to be exhausted. But could I go back and rewatch it tomorrow if I could figure out how to do that? Certainly. I really didn't like what Big John had to say to Ariel. He just openly defended not enforcing the rules. Imagine an NFL ref doing that. He'd be fired. Herb Dean did the same thing. He goes on with Bisbee. He's like, wait till you see this revolutionary thing we discussed at our referees meeting, that we have this rule in place. We decided not to enforce it. But now let me tell you, we're going to start enforcing it. Or at least a little bit more. Mike, where do you rank PVZ? Where do you think PVZ would rank in top women? Many people put stock into draw power, but it's an interesting dynamic. Thoughts? I mean, not high. I mean, she'd be pretty low, right? Let me pull up her, like... I mean, she's smart. She made a ton of money, and she became star, so good on her. She was 5-4 in the UFC. She was 0-1 in Invicta. She lost both of her BKFC fights. She fought to a draw in boxing. She has 2 power slap wins and a draw in power slap. Like, what is her best win? Her best win is probably maybe the Beck Rawlings win? I mean, the Ostovich one was good too, but yeah, she's pretty low. But as far as like star power and like who made the most money in this sport as a woman, she's probably at the top of the list. I mean, maybe behind Ronda. WWE, if Islam wins today, are ending Charles's, Volk's, and JDM's giant win streaks, the 3 best overall wins in UFC history. I don't know, man. Like, Ilya's run is pretty spectacular right now. Like, Max, Volk, and Charles, 3 in a row, just slumped them all. I mean, that's going to be, I think that might be better. And he did the third one to win the second. Yeah, I think it's got to be, I think just off the top of my head, it's probably Taporia. Although John Jones, like, we can't forget about, like, the run John Jones had early on. It was, like, a different sport and a different time. But, yeah, top of my head, I would say Ilya's is better. So, yeah. Hold on, just looking at something for work. Oh, we got another super chat. And Moon, what is your opinion on Marouane Rahiki, the new guy? Like, I know a little bit about him. Obviously, he looked great on Contender Series. Super athlete, big finisher. He's got to be like a fun dude to watch for sure. What do I think his ceiling is going to be? It's a little hard to tell until he starts getting some reps in the octagon, like in actual UFC fights. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm ready to see him fight. Definitely ready to see him fight. Lazy Bet, including Gable Stevenson's upcoming debut bout next weekend for APFC. How many fights left before he's announced as signed? I think he's signed already. Like, this is a Bo Nickel type situation where he's like already, I don't know this for sure, but this is just my guess. Dude is probably under contract already, and he's probably on like a developmental deal where he's just, you notice he's fighting, like he's fighting on Dirty Boxing, but he's fighting for LFA and he's fighting for APFC, which look where those fights are streaming. They're streaming on UFC Fight Pass. So, and if Gable has another fight, you best believe he will probably be fighting for CFFC. Well, probably not CFFC, but some or LFA again. So, yeah, I think he's pretty much in already. So, but I would say I think he fights here, maybe one more, and then I think he's in. I think he's going to debut on the White House card. Now, if I had to guess, I think that's where he's going to debut. Aaron and Cortez is interesting too. I know it's lower down on the card, but it's quite an important fight for both girls. It is a massive fight for Erin Blanchfield. That I could tell you. She is, I think, outside of Sean Brady, she is in the most must-win situation of the night. And it's weird saying that about a fighter so young, but I mean, women's flyweight just is getting better. There are more names coming up. I still think she's like very far out of the title picture, even as is, because she got dusted by Manon Fiorot. Like, she was not competitive at all in that fight. And that fight was like, it was last year that fight happened. And she got dummied up in that one. So, and even like the Rose fight, she didn't look great. She won it, but there are a lot of people who thought she lost that fight. So I think she's like 3 wins away, I think. Like, and I know that sounds harsh and people keep telling me like that I'm crazy, but look at look at how the UFC operates. Erin Blanchfield is not like a star. She doesn't have the gift of gab. She's a good fighter. She's a little limited. Her striking is a little bit better. But like, she's not going to jump over Menon. And she shouldn't jump over Natty Ice. But Cortez, however, she goes out and wins. I mean, again, I don't think she gets a title fight, but she's probably getting like Natty Ice or a number 1 contender fight of some kind. I don't think the same applies for Blanchfield, unfortunately. You guys are firing off takes, and I love it. Mike, I had to Google Mara Romero Barella to see the story about the drug sting called Operation Flanker. Oh, that's terrific. That's amazing. Yeah. You just spoiled the trivia question. But yeah, Mara Barella. That I forgot all about that until I was like digging through and I was like, ooh, this is a good one. Suspended for 26 years. Mr. Dalton Trumbo, biggest adjustment needed moving from Western Mass to the South. I mean, there wasn't like a huge adjustment. Really? It's just nicer weather. If you are, like, I know living in Mass from I don't know, mid-March to like mid-May, it is like peak allergy season. Kicks your ass. Here it is like allergy season all year round. And if you are a seasonal allergy person like it's pretty rough. Like that's honestly the worst part of living down here is the allergies. You get like out of the 12 months of the year, you probably get a reprieve for like, at least for me, maybe 6 weeks the entire year. It kind of sucks. But other than that, I love it. And somehow I found my way back up in Western Mass. So yeah, going back and forth quite a bit for the next year. So Mike, what's the most surprising result for the main event? Islam by KO? Yeah, I think it'd be JDM by submission. I think JDM by submission would be pretty wild. But I think my official answer is going to be JDM like 50-44s Islam. That would be surprising. Like he just goes in there and did like what Marab did to Piotr Jan. That would be ridiculously surprising. I'm catching up on the Page had 3 power slap fights. Am I really that blurry? Really? Let me see. Let me watch myself. I'm not blurry. What the hell are you talking about? Does Beneil missing weight create other questions, or do you feel confident tonight? I'm not confident in that fight at all, actually. So I have one of those like double choice bets. I have Dariush by decision or BSD by knockout at -120. I think Benny can win. I definitely think Dariush can win, but the fact that he missed weight, I have, especially with somebody that's like him. You know what I mean? Who's like a veteran, has been doing this for a long time. I was disappointed that Beneil missed weight. So I think it changes things a little bit, but Dariush could win. I just think BSD might tackle him and put him in hell, man. But we'll see. Mike, is the UFC holding back fight announcements till the ESPN deal expires? No. That'd be crazy. They should probably announce the Paramount main event tonight, right? What are we waiting for? That card is like 2 months away. Like, I think maybe a little less. Like, what are we doing? Like this, they should announce like the whole freaking card tonight. So yeah, you can't wait till December 13th to start announcing stuff. You're upset about the SC loss? No. Burlington, Mass represent. Let's go. Let's go. The Red Devils. Am I wearing a PFL Africa tee? No. It is a CrossFit 843 shout out to 843. This is the 4th of July, or the Murph t-shirt this year. Matter of fact, Mike, is tonight a must-win situation for Bo Nickel? He won't be cut, but his stock would drop majorly. Yeah, I think he kind of loses his cachet complete. No, I don't know. It's very important for Bo to win tonight. I would say, because we always get the who needs to win more debate, like ahead of all these cards. And, you know, I think like all 4 fighters in the title fights like can afford a loss. Like it'll be bad for Islam if he loses, because he probably loses the Ilia Topuria fight. And it just doesn't mean the same. Really? Like if JDM goes out and just clobbers Islam, like you can't use the excuse of, well, I dared to be great. Like you got beat up. You can't say like, because at least like with the Volk thing, it was just like Volk was a featherweight going up and fighting at lightweight. And we knew that's what it was. This is different. Islam vacated his title and said, I'm going up to 170. And he put on all that size. Like, I just don't see a world where he goes back. So he's got a lot riding on it too. But I think it's Sean Brady for sure is number one. I think Aaron Blanchfield probably number two. And Bo's probably number three. I will say, I think Bo has done a great job this week. I think he's changed a little bit. I like how he's a little more humble. And there are fighters who go out and lose who, and there was a time where Bo wasn't. Like he had a great response to the loss, and then he went on his podcast and said some pretty awful shit on a show that I believe got like pulled off of YouTube like pretty quickly. But since then, like it just seems like he's kind of has his act together and he understands it. Like, just he's going to get booed. And I think he probably feels a little more this week because he's getting booed everywhere. So, yeah, it's a big spot for him. And it's a very winnable fight for him. Erman, main card predictions. Benny over BSD via UD. Pratis TKO KO round 1 in dominant fashion. Morales TKO round 3. Zhang utter domination 50-44. Islam unanimous decision. I like him. Fishing with Bryce Mitchell. Jordan said Ricky Dumas on Bring a Friend. Oh, God. I plead the fifth. You think they're waiting on Tom's eye to announce the main? No. Leon has the most to lose. No, he doesn't. What does he lose? He's already lost 2 in a row. In dominant fashion. He was so far away from a title fight after losing the belt to Bilal. Like even if he wins, so what? Nothing happens. He's nowhere closer to a title fight if he wins tonight. Like, yeah, it sucks to lose 3 in a row, but I don't think a win improves his position at all. Like, do you think maybe the UFC boots him, but like, so what? You don't think PFL would jump all over having Leon and his brother fighting on the same card, and they'd probably pay him more than the UFC's paying him. So I think he's fine. I don't think he's got a lot of pressure on him at all, outside of like, you just don't want to be the dude who loses 3 fights in a row. He's in an awful position. Yeah, what does Leon gain with the weight? He gains nothing. Like, he gains nothing. Maybe his confidence goes up a little bit. And to be fair, they couldn't have given him a better matchup. Like, if we get the best Leon Edwards we've ever seen, and we get the best Carlos Prates we've ever seen, Leon will beat him tonight. Leon should win. Like, this is a very good fight for him. But he's got to be fine. He's got to be fine if he loses this fight. And if he wins, like, he's just going to fight another, like, really bad matchup dude. He's just going to fight another killer. And that's it. Like, that's why I don't put Leon, like, in the, like, certainly a win is important for him, but, like, he's playing a different game right now than everybody else. Like, him saying, like, I have a 3-fight plan to get back to the championship is just unrealistic. Like, he's not fighting for the belt again. Like, he had his run. He will go down forever as a UFC champion. And that's great. His kick to the head of Kamaru Usman is one of the 5 greatest moments in the history of the sport. I think he's done think he's done a pretty spectacular job, honestly. I think he has overachieved to no end. And if he loses, guess what? He's going to go fight Jorge Masvidal in a huge fight. He's just going to go fight. He's just going to go fight Masvidal. And if he wins, guess what? He's going to go fight Masvidal. So he's going to fight Masvidal no matter what. No matter what happens today, he's going to go fight Masvidal next. All right, what are we doing here? Where's this damn broadcast? All right. I can't wait for the ESPN era to be over. Truly cannot wait for the ESPN era to be done. It's going to be glorious when it's all over. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Mike, are fighters allowed to play the prediction markets? It's not gambling, right? Probably not. So you think Usman can fight for the belt again, but Leon can't? Yeah. I do. I don't think, and let me be crystal clear, like, the idea that Kamaru Usman should get a title fight after tonight is absolutely insane. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. But if Islam Makhachev wins, that is what's going to happen. They're all both fighters are managed by the same guy who has the same relationship with the UFC. They will sit out and do whatever they can to make that fight happen, and it's insane. It's ridiculous. Kamaru Usman has not done enough to earn a title fight. But Kamaru Usman has a long reign as champion. He is more well-known than Leon Edwards. Yes, Leon has 2 wins over him, but Usman is a more known fighter than Leon Edwards, and at least he has and honestly, now he has Dana White egregiously calling him the greatest welterweight of all time, which we all know is ridiculous. Kamaru Usman is a great fighter, one of the best welterweights of all time, but to say he's the greatest welterweight of all time over George St. Pierre is maybe the worst take in the history of MMA. It's wildly insane. But Usman, people have a feeling about Usman, whether you like him or you don't. Leon, people are just so indifferent about him. And I think the UFC is I think they're fine without him. Not especially with Aspinall there. Leon was great for them when they were going back to the UK. He's a guy that you could bring there as champion. Now they have Tom Aspinall, who's probably more popular than Leon was. So, yeah, it's a weird time. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But like I said earlier, and then I'll make my picks and we'll get out of here because Slava Claus, Mateus Camilo are about to fight. If JDM wins, if they book JDM versus Usman, it's insanity. But at the same time, if I'm JDM, I am 100% calling out Usman. Because that is a winnable fight, honestly. Go listen to Sean Brady at Media Day. He says it exactly. Islam likes this fight because it's the more winnable fight for him. And Usman should not be jumping the line. Usman should have to beat Shafkat. That's it. Go fight Shafkat, you win. I don't give a shit who the champion is. I don't care if GSP comes back and fights for the belt and wins it. Yeah, you're out. You get it. All right. I'll run down my main card picks and we'll get the hell out of here. I'll run down who I think are going to get bonuses. I will say Jimmy Suss gets a bonus, a.k.a. Banzir Sursakayev. I will say Malcolm Wellmaker gets a bonus. I don't know. This might be one of those events where everyone gets a bonus. So I'm not going to do bonus picks because I have a lot of finishes on this card, including right out the gate. Pull that up. First fight, a catchweight matchup. We have Beneil Dariush taking on Benoit Saint-Denis. Let me pull up the betting odds real quick. Right now, according to FanDuel, BSD minus 190 favorite to come back on Benny Dariush is plus 160. I kind of think BSD is just going to run his ass over. He's a very violent man. Benny is a great fighter, or not great. He's a very good fighter. Knows how to get wins, but I think BSD is kind of wrecking ball him all over the place. And yeah, I'm picking BSD second round TKO. I do have a bet, like I said earlier, Dariush by points or BSD by KO TKO at minus 120. We go to the second main card bout, a start of a big string of welterweight matchups on this main card. We have Leon Edwards, the former welterweight champion, taking on Carlos Prates. Prates, the minus 168 favorite to come back on Leon Edwards is plus 142. Like I said, I think Leon has a chance to win this fight. Like, there is a path to victory. It's all about what's in here. Okay? It's not all about what's here or in the feet. It ain't about that. It's all what's right here. And if he comes sharp, he's got a chance. However, I think Carlos Prates is gonna get him. And I think he finishes him in round 3. Leon's gonna be feeling himself. Maybe it's 19-19, maybe he has a little momentum, but one way you beat Leon Edwards is you just outdog him. And I think Carlos Prates could outdog him. Featured bout, another welterweight, Scrapper-Rudy. Love this fight oh so much. Sean Brady, the minus 142 favorite, the comeback on the Phenom, Michael Morales, plus 120. I think this is going to be the fight. Like, we look back on the career of Michael Morales, and I think it's going to be a spectacular career. But when we look back at his journey in the UFC, we are going to pinpoint this fight this night as the turning point of his career. Having said that, I think the turning point is going to be a lesson in facing defeat for the first time. I think Sean Brady not only wins, I think Sean Brady submits Michael Morales in round 3. But I can tell you, there is a world where Michael Morales just dusts up Sean quickly. But I think Sean's just been in there way better guys. He's a hoss. And as long as he can avoid getting knocked out in the first 5 minutes, Sean Brady's eventually going to get his arms around Michael Morales. And the second he does that, Morales is going for a ride. I don't care who you are. If Sean Brady locks his hands against you, you're going for a ride. He's so big and strong. He's an absolute monster. And I think Brady just kind of wears on him. And yeah, Brady got beat up by Bilal Muhammad. Sure, that was like, 4 years ago that fight happened? So we'll see. I mean, look, Morales goes out there and just kicks him in the face in 3 minutes. Awesome. But I think Brady's going to try to drag this deep. So Sean Brady, submission round 3. Co-main event for the women's flyweight title. Cannot wait for this fight. The champion, Valentina Shevchenko, the minus 136 favorite. The comeback on the former strawweight champion, Zhang Weili, plus 116. I am picking Zhang Weili. I have my money on Zhang Weili. I have my money on Sean Brady and Carlos Prates as well. I have my money on Zhang Weili. My prediction is Zhang Weili has the performance of her career, and she finishes Valentina Shevchenko via TKO in round number 2. Maybe it's a hot take, maybe it's a crazy pick, but that's what I'm feeling right now. And in the main event for the welterweight title, we got Jack Della Maddalena defending against Islam Makhachev. Makhachev, huge favorite, minus 300. The comeback on JDM, plus 245. The money is on JDM. I think it has to be because I do think this fight is way closer than the betting odds suggest, so I'm taking a value play. However, ladies and gentlemen, the official pick. Hope you guys can hear me. The official pick, Islam Makhachev via decision. Maybe a controversial one. I think it's one where it's going to come down to the wire. I think A lot of us will be looking at things differently. Oh, no, JDM won. No, Islam won. We could be taking a trip to Splitty City. I think it's a very competitive fight. I cannot wait for it. I can't. Just this entire night. Just this entire night. We're about to wrap the first round of Slava Claus versus Camilo. Camilo just tackling Slava Claus, which is what you're supposed to do when you're fighting him. It's a great game plan, and it's a really strong one to get a victory over Slava Claus. So, guys, gals, let's have a great time, right? Let's have a fantastic night. I think this thing's going to rule. Jed and I will be in this room, sitting back there, in a little over 3 hours' time. 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Watch the fights with us. Nobody, and I mean nobody, on planet Earth is going to have more fun watching this event than Jed Mishu and I. We'll see you at 9:30, excuse me. Let's go. That's the wrong one. Ah, there it is.